So Mike, the future, some of the stuff we can put on screen, so. Welcome to the August Golf Committee meeting. We have the committee here. We're missing a couple members tonight. And then committee, I do want to spend a minute after this meeting just to go over one piece of business. And we have
Press your button.
And we have one member of the public who, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
How are you doing? Rick Ryan.
Rick Ryan.
User of the Makefield facilities.
Thank you. So Rick Ryan from the township and a golfer, user of the facilities. Thanks. All right, Mike, floor is yours.
Alrighty, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Just going to go over the agenda that we just passed out. The agenda was put up on the website, I think on Thursday or Friday, so for the public, they should have that available to them. Administratively, looking at revenues, year to date, July, pretty good month, again, ahead of budget. And a little bit better than last July as well. Rounds 7288 versus 6471 in 2023. So you can kind of see where that's at. 24 budget was 6240, so we're about 1,048 ahead for the month. 2024, I'm sorry, yeah, the 2024 rounds right now we're at 30,231. And we were at 29,784, which I think this kind of caught us up, right? Prior to this, we were just a little behind, so July was a really pretty solid month for us. Green fees, 274, 332. Budget was 249, so again, ahead of budget by 24,722. And just kind of grown down, carts kind of in the same place. Carts were 99,000, budget was 94. Merch came in at 21.2, budget was 24, so missed by about 3,000. So all you residents, please come out and buy your new clubs and get your shirts. So yeah, just slightly off budget. Food and beverage had another good month and it continues to track with strong numbers. 96,455, budget was 90,000, so about 6,000 ahead of budget. Banquet sales. Yeah, and then banquet sales, 9,000 in June versus the budget was 12,000, so just a little behind. That should say July.
Yeah,
So,
just
July banquet sales, but July is usually our quietest month of the year. So, and we're kind of pacing for a pretty strong September food and beverage. So good, Ed, why don't you use the microphone, please. Talk a little bit about golf.
Yeah, so just following up on Mike with events in July. We'll certainly have a much busier outing season come September and October. In August, for our Golf Association, we had a successful event as well. It was a week, not this past weekend, the weekend prior. Nice turnout as always, and we've been utilizing the new 75-inch monitor. Those that were with us the night of the 20th anniversary in the tent, you saw the nice TV we have on kind of a stand that we're using a little bit more throughout the facility. So our tournament software allows us to do digital scoring. And so this gave us a chance to really utilize it, and it was neat. I know, Rick, I don't know if you were playing that last Saturday. Rich, I don't think you were, but we had it prior and then during the round, so we'll continue to do that for all events, and it's nice to kind of have the players access it on their phone as well. It's an unofficial leaderboard, but at least they can kind of see that, and it was a little bit more interactive. So that was a nice touch. We have our Ladies Invitational coming up this week on Thursday. Nice to see you, Lori, jump in there with a few others. So we'll have about 20 ladies this week.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
So how many was a good turnout for the men's event? How many participants did you have? Do you have on average?
Do you mean like an association event?
Yeah.
Okay, because those are open to both men and women.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But what kind of turnout you get?
Like this, on the 17th of August, we had 46.
Okay.
So,
What was your goal? I got the list today, and I was like very disappointed in the turnout
Yeah.
for the ladies. I think we're missing the mark some in terms of the date and in terms of our promotion of it, because I think, one of the reasons I'm here is to bring a woman's perspective to the golfing team here, and I think that, next year, maybe we get together and figure out how to contact women where they are, instead of just an email,
Yeah.
instead of this a broad blast,
Yeah.
newsletter. You need to send them like personal emails. Maybe they did go out, and I didn't get one, but I think they need to be more personal, and you would get more people.
Yeah, Larry, if I can jump in, I think, we talked to Helen a little bit about this as well, and one of the things we talked about is, the way it was originally created, it was an invitational kind of out to everyone. There was a group of ladies way back when who were very much a part of it, and so they took the ball and ran with it. So we, per se, can put it out to the golf professionals, put it out to different clubs, let people know about it. But again, you're right. It's the ladies the invite needs to be a little more personal. So I think as a group, we could do that. So maybe next time we can plan that a little bit better.
That's good, though, to
and
know
have
the
more of a
background.
committee. And I think what Kevin talked to Helen about a little bit was, the Ladies League on Mondays is a great resource. We have 100 ladies that play regularly. The challenge right now is the competitive market in golf is different. The ladies don't play as competitive all the time, so you got a lot of
Yes,
social
I
golf, which is
agree.
great.
Agree.
But they're not the ones that want to play an invitational, so it's just a little different. So we'll take a little bit, but I think we can do it. So
A
we
work
can
in
look at that.
progress.
Yeah,
and to
exactly.
follow up on that, as Mike alluded to, and Kevin and myself and Helen, and all the feedback's great. I think, our league itself has changed from a more competitive league, even prior to COVID, as Mike mentioned, to probably more a recreational league. So even the format, how we word it, ladies better ball, or ladies.
Scares people away? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if it was we can talk a little bit
well,
more
I
about it
understand,
collectively
yeah.
as far as the format goes. It could be a two-person scramble, just that concept, of not as competitive. When we had this event, we've been there for 15 years running the event. At the peak, we probably had about 40 or 42.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even that number is probably a little lower than
Yeah,
what we really
yeah.
would like. But to your point, I think it's, as we've talked,
Yeah.
changing the format, getting some different feedback. Certainly the word is always great to have the players help pass that word on. So-
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we know, more ladies are playing golf now than ever, which is great, but they're just playing it in a different way, maybe.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you look at even the private clubs, 18-hole ladies league is much smaller than the 9-hole more social leagues that they have. So I think we just got to have that conversation.
Well, happy to
think
help,
about it.
Yeah, no, I
as we
appreciate the
formulate our
That'd be
ideas
awesome.
for
We
next
appreciate
year,
the
get ahead of
feedback,
it a
so
little
that's
more.
good.
Yeah.
We're glad it's on the calendar, and we're glad we're hosting it again this year. So weather looks good, so we're happy about that. Food will be good as well. So just a little plug for the academy as well. I know Joe, Lauren, and Howie and the team are, we're putting together our fall programming now for our junior sessions, both boys and girls after school. So that you'll start to see, the parents will start to see some of those activities coming down the pipeline. Happy to say that Makefield Highlands is going to be another official site for the PGA HOPE clinics. I know Kevin and Mike with Spirit and New Jersey PGA, we've had a number of different facilities that have hosted PGA HOPE. So Makefield specifically, we've been wanting to get involved, and there was a little bit of a process to get certified and make sure you have coaches that are certified. So we went through that, and we're on the calendar to start hosting the HOPE program, which is, HOPE stands for Heroes, Helping Our Patriots Everywhere, excuse me, yeah, Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. So we'll start that October 9th. That'll be Wednesdays, 4 Wednesdays in a row from 4 to 5. So we're really excited to do that. And the last night, we're going to bring the players that are around on Top Tracer and do a nice little kind of send-off evening. So it should be good program overall. I don't know if there's anything you guys wanted to touch on with that. Lastly, just our lessons and our fittings in general have been ongoing. As you saw with some of the merch, I know Mike and Kevin and I have mentioned, fitting is certainly a number that we're always focused on. And I think this year we're a little down on the fitting compared to years past. It's a little bit kind of every other year with irons and drivers, but you'll see that, one of the things we have with Top Tracer is we have a really awesome new Foresight launch monitor. So I started doing and offering what we call free fitting Fridays. So I've been doing it every other Friday. Started the 16th of this month. I'll do it this Friday, the 30th, and we have 2 Fridays in September. So the word's getting out, players kind of getting a chance for us to evaluate what they have, and maybe they get a chance to get on a monitor and see what their numbers are, and maybe, if they're looking forward to something. So we'll be able to use the technology to offer it to our players. So those that are out there that are interested in, trying to figure out what your numbers are, come find us on a Friday. You'll see us from 4 to 6 up there. So that's hopefully going to help to encourage a little bit of that. So, hopefully the weather is going to continue to cooperate. The golf course will still be active, even with our tournament seasons coming up in September and October. So, I don't know if there's anything else, gents, that you want to touch on?
Good.
All right.
I don't think so. All right, I'll handle some food and beverage, guys. I'm Kevin Byrne again, just to reintroduce myself with Spirit Golf and GM at Makefield Highlands. If I can go backwards for 1 sec and talk about the Ladies Invitational, I had a really good conversation. Helen and I sat for about an hour one afternoon and really kind of took the bull by the horns and started to figure out what the next steps are for next year, looking beyond this year. So really good progress. It was a really good conversation, and I think we'll be in a better place. And, starting with a name change. I don't think it should be called an invitational when we are redefining public golf. We are public and we're open to the public, so the invitational, I think, scares people away more than the format. But we had a really good conversation and feel really good about where it could go. So I just wanted to kind of add that in there. From the food and beverage side, if you look at the July numbers up top there, very low on events, so very heavy on a la carte. So it was a great month to work through our menu, kind of get our wheels going on kind of what we want to do well. And so it was a very heavy a la carte month, which we were happy to see, and tried some new things out on the menu, tested Mark Miller, our chef, a little bit, and kind of started going that way. So a little bit lower on the events, more on the a la carte, and that was a good thing to see there. The concept coming that we're working on is to go through the calendar, find some dates where we can have a pop-up dinner, meal, restaurant concept where the only thing we're focused on that night is that pop-up menu, that dinner, a 3-course meal that we can offer to everyone that evening. So it's something we could focus on. So we'll find dates throughout the calendar that works, promote that, and really put a nice meal out for everybody there. So we're really looking forward to getting that really going in September and October especially. Events coming up, as we said, it was a little bit low in July. It'll pick up here at the end of August into Labor Day, and then September and October are really, a sprint to the finish, weather-wise. So we'll have a number of outings and events in the fall. The weather's outstanding in September and October. The course usually finds its legs again in September and October, so really good time of year to host people at Makefield, and that's what we plan on doing. And we're going to have a very strong fall with events, so you see those event numbers go way up. At the moment, we are losing a lot of our seasonal collegiate age staff back to school, So we're filling some gaps and making some a little bit of hires to get us through the fall. But overall, things are in good shape. Everything's trending in the right direction. Jenna's doing a good job. Mark's doing a good job. Everybody's working really hard to push the ball forward. So far, so good on food and bev.
Quick question. Kevin, are you looking for people? Is that an issue right now?
It's not an issue. We definitely lost some people, but we're able to kind of work through the schedule a little better this time of year. So I think we'll always accept applications for people to do some serving and things like that. Sure.
You know, it'd be nice, like at our monthly meeting, to get a list of what positions you have open, because we all know people, and they have kids, and I know other people that, you know, they're not real happy with their kids. They're not working, but that's a whole nother issue. But
Yeah.
but I know that this would be a great opportunity for them, and they're good workers. So, I mean, if we knew what you had available, we could help direct people to you.
Sure.
You're looking for more front of house or back of house? Or both?
A little bit of front of house right now. Back of house, we're pretty set right now. We picked up a new chef this month, so
Okay.
he's under training with Mark.
Perfect.
A la carte chef, but he's worked at Mission Barbecue, so he's got that barbecue experience, which is great, because that plays well with what we do. So yeah, probably more front of the house, servers, bartenders, support staff that do kind of the houseman job, where they're, you know, moving tables and that kind of stuff's important.
How'd
So-
you do on Sunday with the barbecue? You had the grill going, you had burgers, hot dogs, and what was it, brats or kielbasa?
Yeah.
Was it a pretty good success? I mean, it was-
Yeah. I
you
mean,
could smell
yeah,
it coming.
the days we're doing it, you know, the weekends now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it's starting to take, you know, we're definitely seeing everybody, you know, stop. Not everybody's getting a burger, but, you know, more than we, you know, it's nice that we have that to offer them. So, I don't have the numbers on it, but yeah. I think
I'd just be
it's
curious,
well.
because you could smell it out on the course. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
yeah,
like-
no, it's great. Yeah, it was a great Sunday. I was over there Sunday, and it was really nice to see it going. And just to the point, you know, being that we are live and recording, these are great opportunities to talk about these things like an event, or talk about these pop-up events we're doing. And Colin, you know, with the pop-ups, we're trying to tie out, you know, when we have a lot of events in September, October, you know, those days we can really focus on a la carte. So we can really create those nice meals. And, you know, Mark's a great chef, and, you know, letting the community know we have that there is really awesome. So it's nice to be able to do this in a public forum. But yeah, that'd be great. So, Mark, you want to get into
Yeah, we need to
grounds?
get that in the township newsletters too, that they put out, that you're doing them, and maybe get the dates that you can do them ahead of time so
Yeah.
people can plan.
Yeah, we're Facebooking it, so, you know, check the social media. It'll be on Facebook, the menu will be up, and then as well as the email blast that we'll put out. So definitely take a peek at that.
And then let's get Andy, because this is going to be put on YouTube sometime
Yeah.
in the next couple of days, get him to repost it and.
Yeah, absolutely.
And committee, if any of you have YouTube, or you're on YouTube, share it with your.
Yeah, we can do that.
However you want to do it. Same with Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Greens, teas, and fairways will be done next week. We got a contractor coming in for the fairways. We'll be doing the greens aeration. Tee aeration will follow later in the week. A little nervous here. I'm on TV. As far as the golf course conditions, we've had 4 inches of rain in about 4 months. So the ponds aren't filling. We've used water, a lot of city water and well water. We're waiting for the weather to change, but it's going to come. It's just a matter of time. Be patient. Tees, most of the tees are pretty good. There's a few problems there. As far as the greens, they've been holding up pretty well. Everyone's happy with the greens as far as I've heard. This is a challenging place with the soils and the weather. So you've been here 20 years, you know what I'm up against.
The fairways are pretty rough in some spots today.
Yeah,
You know,
well.
right now, so.
So,
It's just dead, so.
It'll come back.
Yeah, I know, but
we're coming up with some different solutions to solve that in the future. More aeration, buying an aerator that I can have on site and not contracting it out. The fairways are going to be contracted out. Everything else we'll do in-house. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
Let me jump in. I just want to talk a little bit about the water situation, and, you know, we've been working with the town and Aqua right now, so just working through what was set up as the deduct meter for the irrigation. Obviously, that water's going into the pond, not into the sewer, so just kind of trying to figure that out. But, you know, water alone, I think in the month of July, we spent about $30,000 for water in the 1 month. So, and it's still not adequate. It's not enough for us to water the fairways to a point where we can keep them plush. And this golf course, fortunately, is not a golf course that really needs to be plush. It's the type of golf course that is designed to be kind of fast and, you know, play fast and firm. So it's not the worst thing in the world, a little brown on the edges. So, and that's what it is. You deal with that where, you know, where it is all the high spots where the sun's strong, you know, that's what you're going to get. But talking about capital, talking about aerators, you know, our equipment lease in the budget is down to 0, which is great. We've always had a lease number in there. We've got all the equipment paid off. So we're a little bit ahead of the game this year, so we're saving money. Part of that's due to the supply chain. We've had fairway units on order for 18 months, 16 months, and hoping they get here in October, November. So, you know, they'll hit in probably November. So pretty much the whole year has been a savings. It's about a $7,000 a month budget line. And then, you know, looking into the next pieces where we need equipment, you know, as Mark alluded to, getting an aerator that's large enough that we can move around, hit these fairway areas when they do get a little hot, and be a little more aggressive with it would be great to have. So we're looking at that. So we're going to put the plan together on the equipment again and get our equipment leases kind of planned back together. That will all be part of the budget scenario right now. So town, it sounds like we're going to be somewhere September, October, doing some preliminary budgeting. Brian, myself, and Kevin met the other day. We kind of got a first draft done, so we're kind of working through that, so we're prepared for that time. The auditors have been in, so we met with the auditors, one meeting, getting them what they need. That's kind of a normal process this time of year as well. And then just a couple other updates on capital. We might as well keep going, and then we can talk about marketing last. The Cover the Tee project, we're still in the works, moving a little slower, but, you know, still in the process. So we're waiting on the contractor to get us some information, and working through that, but we expect that will still happen, and it just, I don't know if
and that's the range, correct?
That's the range. So the 3 big covers that are on the left side of the range that house the bays for the top tracer, there'll be a little different structure. So aluminum frame structures, real more of an entertainment area. So they're really they're designed to be set up so that people can lounge there, hang out, hit shots, play the simulator, golf, and have a lot of fun with it. So
They'll be available, though, on a Saturday or Sunday morning when you've got the range full. And
yeah,
nobody
they'll be,
can-
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
not
if
gonna
they're not
close them.
if they're not rented for an event or rented for somebody,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
renting the simulator, they'll just be open bays. Yeah, absolutely. And then one of them will be set up where we can close it So off-season, we could actually still use it as an indoor bay. So we'll have some activity there with the new launch monitor. So it should extend the season a little bit. Tree plan, I talked to our township engineer the other day, engineer, and he's going to meet with us Wednesday. We're going to do a walkthrough, kind of go back at the plan that we looked at about 7-8 months ago, start marking some stuff. I think they're looking at, the town's looking at doing some planting, this fall, so probably be October into November kind of time frame. So we'll get that set up. We're going to try to put flags out, so if you're out there, or if you want to go out there and see kind of what we're looking at, I would, highly recommend taking a look at it. Some will just be safety corridors, a lot around the driving range, the maintenance area to protect the maintenance area because golf balls do fly into the maintenance area. 12th tee box, a couple of those spots on like 9 and 1 and 1 and 2 and little areas, 7 and 2 areas where balls can kind of go across fairways, so try to make that a little safer anyway, using the trees. Then the overall budget plan, as we presented, I think, a couple meetings ago, that was sent into the township originally. And remember, the pond liner has been the part of the piece for us to say, we're looking at the reserve in the budget so that we can go to bid for the pond liner. So that would be hopefully working through the bid process this fall into the spring. So it'll be a 26 fall project, we hope. So that's where that is, or 25 project potentially. So, I mean, that to us makes the most sense. Obviously, this guy's pulling his hair out every day, trying to manage it with limited water, and we're dealing with conditions that, we'd all like to see, try not to have any dry areas. So, but, golf course playing nice. I played it the other day. I think, greens are rolling really nice. Get all the aeration done. We should have a great fall. So, should look
Mike,
good.
do you have an update from last meeting on the deck?
Nothing new on the deck right now, Mark.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not, in 30 days, we have nothing?
I got nothing on the deck. Right
Okay.
now. Sorry.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if you've been out on the course, but I mean, the number one priority has got to be the fairways and fixing that liner. So, the township needs to understand that, and we can have the
Yeah. Yeah,
conversations, but
yeah.
we've been talking about it. This is not directed at you guys necessarily, but.
No, I
for
mean,
5 years- for
we
5
certainly,
years.
we certainly agree,
Longer.
our stance on it. And, back in, what was it, 18, when we put the bid in for the liner, back then, we did the RFP for it already. And, at that point, the town decided not to spend the money. But I think we're in a different place now. We have the money in the budget. We reserved the money over last year, and hopefully, what's going to get reserved from this year could pay for it. So it's not going to
We
be
just
an
really need to
expense
do
to
it.
the township.
The other one that I've mentioned to you guys a couple of times is really, if there's a way to do it, because we get play all year long, is after the superintendent's revenge, right after Black Friday, close the tees on the par threes and the 3 short par fours and cut out a space and put a mat down, and just, they do it at the private clubs, just let those tees recover, because some of them are pretty rough, and again, that's just one person's opinion. but
I
I've
think
been
it's a
at-
good idea, and I think we should really think about, how we're going to handle the off-season. As mild as the winters have been, it's great for the revenue line, but terrible for the tees, right? Tees
Well,
take a beating, so it does make a
A
lot
lot
of
of the
sense.
private courses do it, and they're a little bit more sophisticated. They'll start to move the mats back and, I was at Garden City, they do it there, but they'll move the mats back and forth. I'm not getting crazy, but
Yeah.
put it on the middle one, and that's it. That's where we are, and then you cover the tees.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I-
All right, well,
I don't know what
definitely,
that would
we'll
do
talk
over the
about
winter,
that. And maybe get some mats. I know we ordered some mats for the range, so.
And you get the good ones where you can put a tee in the mat. so
Yeah, that's
people,
what you need.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's kind of the reports as they stand. If anybody has any other questions, or we'll turn it back over to the committee. Oh, we didn't do marketing, I guess. Just for the record, Andy's on vacation this week, so he'll give a full report next month. But obviously, we're pretty active still on the social media, weekly emails. I think we put up some YouTube channel stuff with the anniversary. So we have all from the Comcast show that we did, so that's all up online. And, kind of obviously working through fall schedule. The one thing I will kind of jump back to, by next meeting, we should talk rates a little bit for next year as we're working through budget, because rates and budget kind of have to work together. So I'd like to get a little more detailed into the rates with the committee next meeting.
And something on the deck.
And I'll see where we are on the deck. I'm trying. We'll see.
Well, look, the deck could contribute to the revenue, right? I mean, you can see more people are sticking around after leagues for food, so something's changed. The food's gotten a little bit better. But, if there's something that keeps people there Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights.
Yeah, agreed. Good.
Anything else from the committee? This is a good time, record time. Anything else from the public? Okay, committee, I need the committee for, well, I can do it here. So just a little point of business. Joe DiDario is going to be leaving the committee for some personal reasons. So everything's fine, just leaving the committee. So I'll work with Suzanne and make sure she knows, and we will have an opening on the committee. So if you know anybody, let's try and find a golfer, somebody in food service, somebody in marketing, somebody in women's golf, somebody in public golf. So Joe let us know the other day. So thank Joe for all his time on the committee.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed.
And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Look for us on YouTube.